I was in the sixth standard when my class teacher told my parents that your child should go and study in the school of disabled. My parents were very upset at that moment, and it was very hard to see my mother cry. They didn't know at that point of time that I was suffering from a developmental disorder called dyspraxia, and it took them over 9 years to figure that out. You know, it took me 15 minutes just to button up my shirts and another 5 to tie my shoelaces. This disorder affected my motor coordination skills and even made daily activities like using a fork or holding a pencil extremely difficult for me. In our society, we have a lack of knowledge while dealing with people who are differently abled. Let me ask you a question. What is the difference between a disease and a disorder? Diseases are treated by medicines, whereas a major treatment of disorders is done only and only by therapies, not tonics or injections. It took me 5 years of therapies to overcome all the challenges that I faced and to make me what I am today. But, but it wasn't easy for my family. It was frustrating for them to answer questions from the society like, what's wrong with your child? What is he suffering from? Does he have a serious disease? Due to my circumstances, I felt like a loser and I isolated myself. But I submerged into the world of technology, making it my new best friend. I started learning how to code and learned 12 programming languages. My parents always used to tell me, someone's opinion on you would never become your reality. And with this shift of mindset, I started helping myself so that I would be able to help others. I researched about the issue of developmental disorders and realized that 1 out of every 6 children currently suffers from it. And only a very small number of them are even able to diagnose it. Therapies at an early stage seems like a far-sighted dream here. The other problem is even bigger. Developmental disorder might later turn into autism. According to CDC United States, 1 out of 68 children currently suffers from autism. In India, we do not even have access to such data. And this is where the major problem arises. If the society would be unaware about such important health issues, there will obviously be less specialists in the particular domain. To give you an estimate, there is just one psychiatrist for every 2 lakh people in the whole country. There's also a social stigma attached to it. Parents are afraid to take their children to the psychiatrist. But why? Because then their child would be categorized as mental patient by the society without even knowing what their actual problem is, because we only believe in tangible diseases. Isn't delayed motor coordination important? By the age of 16, I started working on an algorithm which was fast, efficient, and parent-oriented. And guess what? I found it in my pocket. And after 2 years of research, by finding the right medical specialist, I came up with a mobile app called My Child, which does all the things that took my parents 9 years at a point of time in just 45 seconds. My child is a mobile application which takes in some profile inputs from the parents like height, weight, age, and gender, and then asks them some questions in the form of yes or no. Based on that, it tells the possible disorder from which the child might be suffering from and the specialist to reach out for that particular disorder. We don't, we do not only screen dyspraxia, but we also screen neurological, physical, and speech disorders. The app is currently used in more than 100 countries by more than 7,000 parents. And they even called us from countries like United States, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, thanking us and telling that we are the reason why their child is getting the right treatment. And now we want to go a step further. We will guide the parents with the do's and don'ts during pregnancy and afterwards. With this, we will not only be able to screen developmental disorders, but also reduce the chances of them happening in any children. I don't want a single parent to go through what my parents did. And I don't want a single child to face what I did. We want this app in the hands of every parent around the globe. But we know we cannot help everyone. But everyone amongst us can help someone. Thank you so much.